Okay, let's do this another time. Let's see. All right. How did I do this before? I made this really small, just small enough. I stuck it at the bottom of the screen. Then I took this one, stuck it up here. Yeah, just like that. That works perfectly. Okay, so that's posted live again. This time. Snowplow on the train tracks, doing train track snowplow things. All right, so today my goal is to write another chapter of a collection of slights, which I still need to change the name of because originally this was just going to be a short story collection, but then I was like, hey, what if I extended this little witch thing into an entire big witch thing? So here we are with the big witch thing, and that's my boy. Programming language? Boy, is it cool. Learning how to be a teacher and also learning how to program because he is a multifaceted individual who likes to do lots of things, and programming makes my head hurt. 20 pages of rules. Nope, that's why I don't program. I just write. Fuck programming. Well, it's very good. It's just my brain is not wired in a way that works with that. So, what has happened thus far? How old is she in this first chapter? Do I ever say? I don't think so. Anyways, she's about 7 or 8, probably, sitting in this chalk circle in this side room of her house, trying to summon some powers with a daisy chain as an offering, which, isn't bad. Like, you're taking all of these flowers and you're weaving them into an object, and yeah, that's good job, small child. And then at 13, she and her friends are meeting in the woods and doing circles there, sneaking out at night. I love the beginning of chapter 3 because I had come across the "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret" thing, and I was like, she would use that sarcastically. She would definitely use that sarcastically as like a "Are you there, God? No? Gee, what a surprise. I'm not Christian. Sorry." Not that I have a problem with people who believe in Christianity or any of its bits. I just I associate way too much negative with it. It's not, which is it's a product of family stuff. It's a product of family stuff. But what are you gonna do? Anyways, so chapter 4 was the first circle with Lucy, which I think I posted because it's the one where she passes out after it finishes. It's like, hey, is that how it always feels? Because that's amazing. And the others are just like, okay, but maybe not so much that you pass out. That would be good. So, the thing about Lucy is I don't know, sometimes characters in books get a little bit closer to me than originally anticipated. Jessie is the one of those for Safe in the Dark because Jessie is the part of me that really always wants to save people. And it's not necessarily a healthy part of me, and I'm aware of this. Um, but it is a part of me, and it's a part of me that very heavily reflects in him. Lucy is the little homeschool jeweler section of me that's just like, I want to learn all the things about this, and immediately throws herself into a new experience as soon as she has the slightest inkling that she enjoys it. It consumes her life, which is how I am with things that I like. As soon as I like something, that is all my mind runs on until I find another thing. Um, so anyways, Lucy makes jewelry also, which I think I mentioned briefly in the previous chapter. Uh, this is why I can't. I really wanted to write circle there, but I wrote church instead. It's fine. Each member of the circle. So I had this vision yesterday and I wrote it down, which I've been trying to do lately because I got this for Christmas. It smells amazing because it's real leather, and leather makes me so happy. So I have this. It's a little Italian, handmade Italian leather notebook. I've got another one of them here. It's the one I'm using for my Safe in the Dark quasi scrapbooking. This one, which is beautiful, and I love it. That's my bookmark. Because, can't get enough of the flower fairies. But yeah, this is a little bit of that. Some of Daniel. I've started sticking pictures in there because I was like, I could do something with all of these pictures that I have of these things. I still haven't found a face claim for Jessie that I like. But anyway, I've been using this one to scribble down writing ideas I don't want to forget when I'm out of the house, because it's small enough to fit in any of my bags. So I have a little necklace that's a moon and a star with a black onyx in the middle. And if you flip it over, you can see that the star is a pentagram, but you can't see it from the front, which is nice. Although my Nana would totally still lose her mind about it. But I had this image in my head of Lucy making each of them crosses that actually had like runes and stuff engraved into the back, because that's totally something I would do. Like, I literally have a press set and a hammer and little silver punch outs specifically for that purpose. So I was like, that's something I need to include. Man, I miss doing witchcraft regularly. I'm so exhausted. It's nice. I try to do stuff in the morning, like when I first wake up, but it's really dependent on how awake I actually am and how willing I am to drag myself out of bed to go and do these things, even though they do make me feel better if I do them before I start the day. Even if it's just something little like sitting down and taking time to meditate and then do a couple of tarot readings for the day. And it's nice. It's calming. It's relaxing. It helps me wake up. But sometimes I don't have the energy for that and I just want to lay in bed for the extra half an hour, which I'm not going to get anymore because I don't want to leave Boy at the bus stop 10 minutes before the bus gets there in -degree weather. So I'll probably just start waiting till the bus gets there, and then I get home at like 7, and then I'll have until 7:30. Then I'll leave and open the store. That'll be good. That'll be fine. Everything's fine. Hopefully he starts sleeping better soon. Lit, says Kelsey, because she's a nerd. It's fine. I love her. She's wonderful. I need to do witchcraft with her some more because I miss her. I wanna be financially secure, but my car needs catalytic converter, which is true. Got my car fixed this morning. Didn't get my car fixed this morning. I figured out what was wrong with my car this morning. The car needs catalytic converter, which is fine. Just a little hunk of expensive platinum to stick in your car. Why do we do this? I don't fucking know. I don't know what it does. I could ask my brother, but I probably wouldn't understand any of the words that he'd come out of his mouth to explain what it is. It's an emissions, so it's not really necessary that I fix it right now. I'll do it later, closer to inspection time. There are 5 of them? There are 5 of them. This story is really weird because I feel like I'm not writing it in my normal tone. Like, I definitely have kind of a specific tone most of the time. Or maybe that's just because I've been writing inside Alex's head for so many years that that's just like my default now. But I don't know. This one feels more. It feels more like you're watching from the center of it. Like everything's happening around you instead of experiencing it with the character. You're experiencing it beside them, as though you are watching all of these things happen, but you are still a little bit separated from it, which is a weird way that I'm doing this. And I might change it later, but for now, that's how it is. I also have to figure out if this is going to stay as a short story or if I want to try and find some long term conflict for this thing. Because, so it came about because I had reread the Sweet books and, like, I can't say I hated them because I did sit down and read all 5 of those compendiums again. And there are parts of it I do enjoy. I love Practical Magic, the shop in Red Kill. Uh, Fun fact, there's now a Practical Magic in Vermont, and it's amazing. The ladies who run it are amazing. I went to their winter bazaar. I came back with so many nice things. So many. I don't know if. What's in here? Chocolate, tea, hot chocolate, tarot deck, bumblebee jasper. Oh, the peas for Caleb's cup. He should probably have that instead of me. Whoops. Oh well, that's fine. None of my things from there are in here, but that's okay. I have a lot of rocks. I didn't get any rocks. I refrained from buying rocks. I bought some really nice smelling soap because I was all out, and the guy was very nice, and all of his soap names were puns, and it was amazing. uh, and tinted chapstick because goodness knows my lips are dying. Oh, fuck. I might actually have to go. Okay, I might need to leave. Boy might be getting a migraine. Or not. He's gonna let me know. It's fine. It'll be it's okay. He's okay for now. Hell of a way to start the school year though. God damn. Oh well. At least his teachers know. That was not a thing last semester. His teachers did not know. He should have accommodations for it now though. Okay. So he thinks it's probably nothing. I might need to go quickly. But until then, ignore my phone. I'm gonna leave it on sound just so that I can hear him if I need to. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's way too hot in here. Although it's not, because it's stupid cold outside. I'm just hot because I'm sitting in the sun. Well, I'm sitting in what passes for the sun right now. I'm kind of sad that I didn't keep writing The Lighthouse Keeper. It was too big. There was too much. I'm not, and I have been in the past, like, I have written, like, grand scale sort of stories before. It's not my preferred thing, I guess. I like to focus more on characters and their relationships and, like, smaller scale personal conflict rather than, "Oh god, save the world" conflict. I love reading it. Like, I will devour adventure novels by the dozen, um, because obviously, but writing them is not my strong suit. I do love world building, which is why I love D&D because I will spend years world building, but the problem is I have no friends to play D&D with. Um, you mean aside from not letting ships go down? And I I'm gonna print that book for you. Because you know what's exempt from that? Textbooks. Textbooks should not be $200 a piece. It's stupid. What do you mean, panic? Anyways, Gideon and Dot, who are, oddly enough, also NPCs from my D&D world, because I loved them, and I was like, hey, they need a story. Melody LaRue. Understandably, Melody is fucking terrified by the sight of Shark Lady. Had to look up how long it would take somebody to swim 7 miles to the bottom of the ocean. Also, the ocean is only 7 miles deep. That's weird. It's weird. That's less miles than it takes me to drive to my parents' house from here. It's weird. And I say that, but like I don't live far from my parents. Like it's a 15-minute drive at most. Goddamn D&D, bitches. The game, fuckers! I should probably, you know what I have that I never use? That I always say I'm gonna use? The newest version of fucking RPG Maker. Which I love. Still haven't quite figured out how to use totally, but I love it. The problem is I'd need to make a new game, because that one is just full of pain. My whole thing has been full of pain lately. Iron and sea salt. This is something I'd like to go back to. It's a siren and a vampire, and they basically murder the world. But anyways, I think I'm gonna start writing Isaac's chapter. Because while I started on witches, my brain is running on vampire right now. Possibly because I've been reading this. Which is really good, especially because I love me a snarky, unreliable narrator. And Mr. Peacock is definitely a snarky, unreliable narrator. And says so within like the first 2 sentences of the book. It's a good book. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. There is some language. Unsuitable language. R-rating language. Not necessarily like curse words, but like there are definitely some slurs in there. Which, like, I guess I get it for the time period, but unnecessary. As somebody who says a lot of swear words throughout the course of writing this book that I'm going to have to clean out later, because I know it's really unnecessary for me to have them in there, and I'm kind of using them as a crutch right now, just because, you know, nothing really beats that feeling of just the exclamation of fuck. Yeah. Anyways, I'm using curse words as a crutch right now, and later I will stop, but right now, no. But there's a lot of swearing in this draft right now, and I'm trying to clean it up. Anyways, Isaac's first chapter. Where's my actual writing? I printed out the perks of which for a print job. This, which is very small, because I changed it all to 8-point font, and changed the margins to only about 1/4 of an inch on the page because I didn't want to print 380 pages of mess. Uh, this is Safe in the Dark. The previous version, anyway. On from inside. Oh, because that's just their chapter. Anyways, this is the 10th draft, I guess, of Safe in the Dark, with some bits of the 9th and 8th in there as well. But that's fine. What do I want? So this is still about 140 pages, double-sided, which is, wow. Is that where it was? There it is. There's the folded page. But anyways, having this side by side as I rewrite chapters has been incredibly helpful instead of, switching back and forth between tabs of Noveler. Because as much as I love Noveler, it does not let you have multiple tabs of the thing open at the same time, which I get because it's like a constant sync. Plus I have it syncing to my Google Drive every day, so. Jesse. Daniel. Thea. What the fuck? Nope. Isaac. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we're gonna go back up to Alex. Which one should that be? If Eric is 10, the house is 3, the bottle's probably 5. Should make Isaac 6 or 7, depending on if I do an intermediate. So let's just call it 6 to be safe. Look at me pretending I'm an organized nugget this time around, even though I'm not in the slightest. Alright. Do I want to start writing here though, or do I want to write from... I'll start here. Oh, that would be interesting. So at work the other day, in my mess, I was trying to fathom how I was going to keep the alone with the bottle scene if I made it accidental that Alex had, come across an unassuming bottle of wine. Because I have to keep some of my roots here. Give me a break. And, shit starts happening because vampire blood. And it lets me keep It lets me keep her questioning, but it also eliminates the snip that I really like, which is Alex in the bottle. But I wanted to see if maybe it wasn't enough, if maybe it was just killing her at that point. And so the Alex in the bottle scene is her trying to decide if she wants to go through with it or not. Oh, fuck. You learned how to make a computer beep. Good job. Are you getting a migraine or not? No? No migraine? False alarm. Okay. Alright, well, that means I don't have to go. Probably. Hypothetically. Unless he does actually start getting a migraine. Which he might. Hopefully not. I hope not. Anyways, Alex in the bottle. I really just because the tagline that I've kept for so long is Moira's line is "Drink the Kool-Aid, kid. Death has never felt so alive," um, which I adore. Most of the things that Moira says, I adore because she's everything that I wish I could be. She's the perfect mix of actually giving a shit and not giving a shit, and managing to be comforting while at the same time not giving up any of like her own self, which I am not good at. I cannot do that. At least not currently. And she's so sweet to Sarah's kids. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry again. It's become a theme for today because Anani made me cry this morning. They were so sweet. Alright, sun is streaming through her windows because it's daytime. I'm gonna write in cliches because this is the first time of rewriting this, so but this chapter I'm pretty like some of them I do need to have like the text next to me to be like, okay, I need to make sure I don't miss this, this, and this. Whereas ones like this and like the chapter with her parents, those are so ingrained because I've written them so many times. Like the first I should read that for you in a bit. Not right now. The first time I wrote this chapter, there's a couple lines in there I still really like, even though A, it's written in first person, B, it's still fan fiction, and C, uh, it's kind of a mess. But it's one of the only chapters in the first version that flows in a way that isn't like stilted and jumpy, and it's actually quite nice. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how 14-year-old me accomplished that, but I did, and I'm proud of myself. I am proud of her. Back all that time managing to do that. Speaking of being 14 and posting things on the internet, my Wattpad is still active. Probably will be for possibly ever. The original version of Safe in the Dark, which is just safe question mark colon a Lost Boys fanfiction. I made the cover in this thing called Print Artist Silver. Alex was 15. 15! A year older than me when I started writing it. It's currently ranked number 36. Nice. 43,000 reads, which I think is divided by chapter. This has what? How many? 43. Divided by 26. It's about 1,700 people who've read this thing all the way through. Yeah. Over 1,000 votes. Holy crap. Good lord. And it used to have a sequel. I know I've talked about this in writing here, but originally, as I write this chapter where she attacks Isaac, originally, Isaac died. Well, that was way, way originally. Originally, this was a short story, and Isaac died, and she just went on living with them like that. But the original true ending, I guess, is she lives, she escapes, still a half vampire. Never really touch on how that goes for multiple decades, aside from her stealing blood from a hospital. And Isaac being a dumbass, which hasn't changed. That hasn't changed at all. Isaac is still a dumbass. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Anyways, they had a kid. Her name is Kayla. She inexplicably has Daniel's fucking eyes for some reason. I was 14. I didn't know how genetics worked. Which is a lie. Like, you learn how that shit works in like 4th grade or earlier. I don't know. Pea plants. Anyways, inexplicably has Daniel's eyes. And then boys come back. This is back when it's still Daniel and Eric and Kyle and Jesse. And Daniel has a formed personality, at least. He's still a carbon copy of David, but he at least has a personality. Kyle doesn't. Jesse is kind of just... he's annoying, but in a nice way. He's annoying in that older brother way, and he's still annoying in that older brother way, but he at least has a personality now. Eric is bland and mean, but oh well. And Kayla really, really doesn't want to be who she is. So she becomes a vampire, which obviously Alex is way the fuck not okay with. But then she ends up killing Daniel, and Isaac dies, and a lot of shit happens in that little sequel, and it's a mess. But you know, it's never going to see the light of day again. I actually unpublished that one. I don't know if I took it off fanfic on that. I hope I did. No, never mind. I never posted it there because I had changed it by then. It wasn't fanfiction at that point. It was really crudely not fanfiction at that point because, like, I had changed a name and changed the location of a few things, and that was about it. Like, this is unrecognizable at this point, for the most part. If you were a hardcore Lost Boys fan, then you could probably pick out things and go, I see you. Um, Although, actually, though most of the vampire shit does come from the way the Lost Boys portrays vampires, I have been. This is a good book. I like to devour as much media as possible so that I can make this sort of conglomeration of vampirism in a way that I like. Um, the cold, the cold with the change was something that came with Krista back when I was still writing Nightmare Neighbors, about Krista Morgan, who at the age of 12 had her mother murdered in front of her. That was a fun time. Good on me, 10-year-old kid, making your characters go through horrific trauma. Um, Anyways, the change being cold, like the feeling of ice sort of growing in your veins, like that feeling when you've burned yourself. And I don't know if this is accurate to anybody else, but I have burned my fingertips off, which was not a pleasant experience. um, but that feeling of cold when you're icing them, when the skin around it starts to get like you feel like if you move it, it's going to fall off. Uh, which I assume is what frostbite feels like. Don't know. Never had frostbite. Could look it up. Not going to. Uh, but like that feeling of sort of cold creeping through your extremities and up into the rest of your body. Uh, that came from Amelia Atwater Rhodes. That came from a line somewhere in Shattered Mirror, I think. I haven't read Shattered Mirror in a long time. I used to have the poem written down somewhere. I think I still do. Picture of a shattered youth, a shattered mirror shows a shattered truth. Use the world through the eyes of others. Black and white, there are no colors. That was a good book. It's part of where the inspiration for Nikki and Christopher came from. Jonathan. Nicholas and Christopher are the vampires from that book, which is why my brain is running wrong. Nikki and Jonathan are mine. Jonathan's an asshole. Nikki changed gender somewhere along the line. He's a guy now. But was originally Jonathan's sister. Which is fine. And Krista was a blatant self-insert of myself. And Carissa was literally just my friend Carly. But that's because at the time we had decided that we both wanted to write books, and so we both did have a place in each other's stories at the time. Her book was something about shadow hunters, and when that series actually started gaining ground, I was like, huh, they totally owe Carly money because she definitely had that idea way before this. But, we never published anything. We'd just send snippets of writing back and forth to each other and be like, hey, look at this. And the other person would be like, that's amazing. It was really good. I miss doing that. I really miss doing that. Miss Carly. But what are you going to do? Originally, I had kept the yellow eye thing, but I switched it back to red because I really just find the red a little bit more striking. I haven't decided on sunlight. Like, honestly, I know that direct sunlight will kill them, but I haven't decided on the whole, like, overcast thing. And this is giving me this is making me want to make it possible. Because it's so good. And people like Moira especially would really, 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 really benefit from actually being able to, go outside when it's cloudy and just have the idea of daylight. She's definitely, her circadian rhythm means she wants to be awake during the day. And as a result, she's usually fucking exhausted. I mean, with the exception of Jesse, they kind of all are. Like, Daniel is tired, but that's just because he doesn't sleep well. And Alex is tired because nightmares. And is that burning? Shit. The fuck? Oh no, it's just smoke. Just okay. I did that last time too. I saw something and I had to get up and look at it. It was the bread. But it looked like my light bulb had a burn mark in it. Isaac can't sleep because anxiety and insomnia. So he literally just paces the kitchen all the time. And Daniel stays up reading until he actually passes out with a book on his face. And Moira just gets up way too fucking early. I'll have to change this to the scene where she's questioning everybody. And because it's no longer Jesse that she met in the alley. But at the time, it's, yeah, sure, Jesse. Look, it'd be hard enough for me to believe you did any more than attempt to fuck anybody up. Don't throw the teen novel bullshit into. And then she stops because, hey, eye color changes are weird and immediate. I don't know how it happened, but like, I go through periods of each of these characters kind of being my favorite. Right now, I'm still stuck on Jesse and Daniel being consuming my life. But for a while, I swear I wrote like solid nothing but Isaac. I actually, dare I make the comparison again, but I actually had a Midnight Sun-esque, had a bunch of chapters written from his perspective instead of Alex's, back when this was still in first person. That might still be on Wattpad, I don't know. I know it's still up. It might just be in permanent draft mode so that other people can't see it. Because, they don't. Who knows how fast this year's gonna go? Hand me a glass, let the butterbeer flow. Maybe at last I'll talk to Joe. No, that'd be way too awesome. Come on and teach us everything you know. The summer's over, we're reaching a go. Think we're ready for Albus Dumbledore. I keep hopping chapters. I've written probably like 100 words for like 3 different chapters at this point, but I keep bouncing. I'm back on Jesse's chapter this time. Which one? I don't know. 3, chapter 3. It's not even really chapter 3. It's probably more like 5 or 6. I'm starting to wonder how exactly I'm going to lay this out because originally these chapters for everybody else were sort of just side. I had them labeled as preludes. Um Preludes? I'm saying that wrong, probably. Uh but I didn't have them labeled as like actual parts of the story. They were kind of there to cut up the Alex chapters and give you a little bit of background. But the way I'm writing them now, I'd rather that it kind of went chronologically, one of each. That it went Alex, Daniel, Jesse, Moira for a while, and then occasionally Isaac. And then eventually it would conglomerate into something whole. But that reminds me of Queen of the Damned, and God, do I hate how that book was laid out. But I don't think I could do it better. It would be the same kind of mess, except with less characters. Like Queen of the Damned has like a solid ton. I need to reread Tale of the Body Thief again. Fuck Lestat though. God, he's such an asshole. And like for a while it seemed like he was getting better, but well, not all of it. I tried to read Prince Lestat, and I was like, no, this is bad. Sorry, Anne, go back to writing your Jesus fanfiction. Because she did that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who bought it for me. It honestly might have been my Nana. It literally might have been my Nana, but her Anne Rice Angel Time? Angel Time. Anyways. Was an Anne Rice book. It was apparently part of a series, but I never read any more of them. I remember reading that one though. But anyways, with Lestat, I got all the way up to Memnoch the Devil. And after that, I was done. Because I was like, you know what? This is a good place for you to end. You're going to sit in the dark of this dungeon and think about the things that you've done. You're missing an eye. And everybody else can just chill the fuck out and go on with their lives. And maybe eventually you'll stop being such a dick. And nope, guess that didn't happen. And I mean, I read The Vampire Armand because I love Armand a lot. Fucking Botticelli angel face bullshit. But after that, I was done. Like, I never touched, like, the ones where he fell in love with that witch lady. I'm not here for that. Because, you know, he's got a habit of turning people and then abandoning them. See literally anybody he's turned ever. It's so mean. It's so mean. I still have a blatant self-indulgence I need to write because that was a thing that came to me the other day. Plus, I keep continuing off of the dancing one. It's turned into its own little AU, sort of, because I love it so much. I still need to commission somebody to draw that scene of Jesse and Daniel dancing. I need to because my skills are not there yet, and Lord knows with how little I practice drawing, they're never gonna be there. So I need to commission somebody to do that. Preferably Kaylee, because I mean, I'd like to give my money to Kaylee. I don't know if Kaylee will take my money, but I will give her my money if she lets me. And I will ask her to draw that. But honestly, like, I would love to just be in a financial place where I could commission 24 people to draw different scenes from this story. I would really, really love that. Financially, can't do that. But later, I say, as though I will ever be financially stable. Hopefully I will be. Not being is death. Um Come on, go on. There we go. I'm guessing it's technically like a royalty AU because Jesse is definitely like the idea is that this is a Cinderella style ball where he's supposed to meet, you know, his future wife. Surprise! He's gay, which is a surprise to nobody. Because, I mean, come on. Have you met Jesse? He's not subtle. He does not even remotely try to be subtle because he does not want to be. I love my boys. Yeah, my girls. I love them all so much. Also, I realized in the last stream, being the idiot that I am, I called Alex both straight and asexual. So, sorry. She is like, over the past few days as I've continued writing some of her newer chapters, she is solidly ace. Which is, I guess I'm not surprised. Not as surprised as I was when, I don't know, certain things surprised me. Like, certain character traits come out of nowhere sometimes. Like, did you know Carrie used to be in love with Isaac? That was a thing that happened when I was 15. Um, Jesse being gay was more of a gradual slide. Uh, Carrie being a lesbian kind of just was a switch flicking and going, oh, obviously. Um, Daniel really doesn't give a shit. Like, really, absolutely is just like, I am not too keen on falling in love with people, but I will have sex with them. And then Jesse comes along and he's like, okay, maybe I love that one. Everyone else can fuck off though. I don't care about Eric because he's a bad guy. But like, let's be real, with his interactions in that chapter, he's probably straight. Ugh, he's so creepy. Creepy! It's a good chapter. I still need to post that. I did rewrite it. I need to clean it up a little. Metaphorically speaking. Literally speaking, it could probably use a little more bloodshed. Malthea doesn't do anything. Gus is a child, so we're not going to touch on that, even though he may technically be hundreds of years old, thousands of years old. Roman Empire, Jenna. 1,000. for 1,000. Um, Pretty sure Madeline is bi, leaning more towards women than men, but definitely bi. Isaac is definitely bi, with more of a preference towards boys who are squishy. Um, like Tom. He and Tom used to date. They're still very good friends, as is obvious until later. Um, but they did used to date for a bit. Uh, Tom is just straight gay. uh, Alex is ace, which came as, I don't know, it had popped up before and then it vanished and now it's back again, so we'll see if it sticks around, but I think it's going to this time because I don't know, it feels right. Uh, Mara's a lesbian and trans. Both of those kind of snuck up on me. But Moira's a newer character, so a lot of her snuck up on me. But I didn't realize that kind of just came in a day when I was writing. I was like, oh, huh. Because I was writing her backstory, and suddenly I realized how everything was falling into place, and there she was. I love this story so much. I sometimes question it just because I have been writing it for so long that I'm like, should you really still be focused on this? But yes, these characters have been my heart and soul for 7, almost 8 years now. There's no way in hell I'm going to let go of them without at least giving them some closure, even if it's just for my sake. Even if this story never sees the light of day outside of, like, the bits that I post to Tumblr, that's fine. I need this story to end for my sake and for their sake. That's what it's for. I should probably go get some food. This was good though. I did get about 300 words done, even if it was scattered across 2 different whips and 4 different chapters. It's fine. It's still something. And that's progress. And I only have 200 word a day goal, and I hit that. So I'll write some more later. Bye bye.